Hey guys, welcome back to another video from the Football Herd. Hope you're doing wonderfully well and hope you had an amazing Game Week 13. And if you did not have, don't worry, I'll make sure that you have a very good Game Week 14. Because in this video, I'll be discussing about some key player comparisons and some key transfer tips and the players which you can bring in, which will increase your rank a lot and give you a competitive edge in your mini leagues. I'll be discussing at length about certain players that you must hold, you must buy, and you must sell, right? And apart from that, I'll also discuss the best wildcard team for Game Week 14, which will help you navigate the game weeks from 14 to 20 at ease in this fixture congested period. So lots to discuss. So without delaying any further, let's get started. To start with, the first point that is very important in my opinion at this juncture is we have to load up on Arsenal defense. Because all the defenses are leaky at the back and they're conceding a lot of goals. But we see the expected goals conceded by Arsenal is very low, and as we saw in the Brentford game also, that they only conceded around 5 to 6 chances and they won comfortably 1-0. So apart from Manchester City, Arsenal also are trying to have more control on the game. So by doing that, what they're doing is they are not being that much adventurous and they are very solid at the back. So in my opinion, if you think about doubling up on the defense, it's a very good option. Apart from Saka in the midfield, you can definitely go for the likes of Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko in that order. I think any two out of these three is very good for the upcoming game weeks that we have, because Arsenal have a very good run of games from game week 14 till 20. The next point is that West Ham are very sloppy at the back, and I, being an Areola owner, I am very much disappointed on West Ham, and I am just wishing that I have a small window in which I will be able to utilize one transfer and just transfer Areola out, and I will definitely like to have someone like Sanchez from Chelsea, or for the sake anyone apart from Areola basically, because I am not at all happy with the kind of defensive solidarity that West Ham are showing at the moment. Next up, Newcastle are menacing at home. I was completely taken aback by the kind of offensive performance that Newcastle gave in the last game. I did not bring Anthony Gordon in. I was hoping that Bowen would start, but unfortunately Jared Bowen could not start, and I missed out on a 13-pointer, and that nearly costed me my game week. So in my opinion, to have Newcastle offensive players in this good run of games from 14 to 20 is again very much important in my opinion. You can go for the likes of Isak, you can go for the likes of Gordon. I'll be discussing at length in my next segment in key player comparison, where I'll discuss about both these guys with other midfielders and attackers. So do watch it till there, right? The next point being that Sheffield United are the team to target, in my opinion. They are leaking goals here and there, and in my opinion, they will definitely be relegated this time around. So if someone is having a fixture against Sheffield, I think that is the game week that you should stress on and load up on their players and captain whoever is playing against Sheffield. The next point being, which I have discussed in my earlier videos also, that Luton are a completely different side at home and they're a different side away. So the home fixtures of Luton, I feel that they are a lot compact and they maintain their shape, and it's very pretty much difficult to bring them down. So I think do not follow the fixture difficulty rating of Luton. At least if they have a home game, I think they deserve that amount of respect, and we should pay heed to Luton when they're playing at home than when they're playing away. So I just thought of putting this up again, right? And the last but not the least, United are looking decent in bits and pieces. Having said that, they are nowhere convincing. So I do not have anyone from United in my team. But someone like Bruno Fernandes or Rashford might seem tempting in certain game weeks from now. So it was just a placeholder for now. Now the first player comparison that I would like to do is between Isak and Darwin. As you can see from the graphic, right, that the number of shots that Darwin Núñez has is much greater than what Isak has. Then the shots in box, then big chances, then shots on target. Darwin leads Isak by a lot. But in my opinion, Darwin is not that much clinical. But Isak is much more clinical. And the kind of fixtures that Isak have after game week 14 is also easy for me because it's United, and United travel away, right? They play at St James's Park, so that is also a very difficult fixture for United. So I think Isak will also be a very good option in that. But having said that, Darwin's fixtures in game week 17 and 18 are a bit difficult because they face United and Arsenal. But apart from that, it's neck and neck. If you ask me, and if you have the funds to go in this price bracket, I think Isak has a edge over Darwin, whereas Darwin is a bit sloppy in my opinion. So for the coming game weeks for 14 to 20, I'll definitely recommend Isak over Darwin. Now we'll be comparing Mbeumo with Anthony Gordon. Now, if you'd have asked me certain 3-4 game weeks ago, I would have given a blatant answer that Mbeumo is a much better option than Anthony Gordon. But of late, Gordon is showing amazing form, and also Newcastle are scoring at will, right? So, in my opinion, it's a very difficult pick between Mbeumo or Gordon, because as the graphic shows that clearly Mbeumo is much more lethal than Gordon. The data shows that, the stats show that. The XG, big chances, shots in the box, through balls, crosses, chances created, everything is higher for Mbeumo than Gordon. So in my opinion, if you have the option, I will say that go for both of them. But if there's a choice between either Mbeumo or Gordon, I would say you can go with Gordon as of now. But having said that, Mbeumo is having that amazing run of games. They play Luton, Brighton, Sheffield, Villa, and then they have a blank game week, and then they play Wolves, right? So the fixtures for Mbeumo is much more easier than Gordon, I would say. But having said that, Gordon is also an amazing pick because the United game in game week 14. Then they have a tough game in game week 16 where they travel away, right? Apart from that, all the fixtures are very much lucrative. So if you can navigate that blank game week 18 with having Mbeumo, then I think that go with Mbeumo. But if you cannot navigate the blank game week 18, then having Anthony Gordon at this juncture is a no-brainer in my opinion. In this segment, I'll be naming 3 players to buy, 3 players to sell, and 3 players to hold. So, in my opinion, the 3 players that are must buy for game week 14 and upwards are Anthony Gordon, then Mbeumo, and then Gibbs White. So, as you know that Anthony Gordon is in blistering form, and so is Mbeumo. And the differential pick is Morgan Gibbs White because he had the highest expected goal involvement in game week 13 with 1.57. Having said that, he also had the most number of shots amongst any player in that game week. And he is a hidden gem in my opinion. And everyone will sooner or later will jump onto Morgan Gibbs White. So before it's too late, I think it's a good time to have Gibbs White. And in the next category, that is the sell, the first player being Jarrod Bowen, because we do not have any more information about his fitness. Though you can wait till the midweek games. But for me, Bowen is a sell, and if he is fit in the later point in time, then definitely I'll go for him in game weeks 15, 16 or 17, right? The next player is, it might be a shock, but it's Heung-min Son. Son had a very rough patch of 3 games, but having said that, he had a lot of chances in the last game week, but he could not convert any of them. He was also unlucky in certain instances, but in my opinion, I will not go for Son. I will not recommend you to go for Son as of now, because without James Maddison, he is not being that much clinical in my opinion. He is not getting those kind of chances which he used to get when Maddison was around, right? So though I have Son in my team, but if you have an option and if you have a transfer free, then definitely you can use it on Son in my opinion. Then the third player is Mitoma. This is also an injury issue, and also that because Brighton are playing very good football, and a lot of them are in the thick of things, like João Pedro, then Ferguson, Adingra, Pascal Gross. So in my opinion, the points will be shared, so you will not get the number of points that you used to get for Mitoma earlier. And since he is also injured, so it's a no-brainer in my opinion. And the third category of hold, the three players are Cash, Diaby and Saka. Now I've seen that many of them are going bonkers about Saka being not able to score much goals, then he's not getting that high XG that he used to get. But having said that, in my opinion, Saka is one of the most fundamental players of Arsenal. If they are playing well and they're putting in those crosses, making those channel runs from the right wing, I think Saka is someone who will be always number one in Arsenal. And considering that Arsenal will be one of the title contenders and what Saka has been throughout the past 3-4 years, I think Saka is a hold for me as of now. You do not have enough against him to sell probably. And the other two, Cash and Diaby, they are a confirmed sell from game week 15 in my opinion, but they have a Bournemouth fixture in this game week, so I think you might probably hold the likes of Cash and Diaby for one game week and then probably sell them in game week 15. Now in my game week 13 review, it was a very disappointing game week, and I had red arrow, and my rank is currently very shambolic in my opinion. But having said that, I'm sure that we will be back to the top where we used to, right? So having said that, it's 3 points at the back from Areola. Then my defense was again pretty disappointing, with only Gabriel giving me 6 points. The others couldn't give me any, with 1 and a couple of zeros for Cash and Jordan Bayer, because Bowen did not play, so Bayer was auto substituted, right? In my midfield, no one gave me any returns apart from Mohamed Salah. Salah gave me 5 points, Mbeumo with a couple, then Diaby with 1, and then Son missed n number of chances, I would like to say n, and he gave me a couple of points. Erling Haaland in my offense gave 14 points. He was my captain. I was lucky not to take a punt on the likes of Son or anyone else. I went with the safe Haaland route. So he gave me 14 points, and Alvarez with also a couple. So overall a disappointing week, but having said that, it's a perfect time to bounce back and have an amazing game week 14. So since I have a couple of free transfers for game week 14, I have used all of them, and before the price rise, and I have brought in the likes of Anthony Gordon and Saliba, and I have transferred out Bowen and Matty Cash. So I was not in a place to, considering the funds, to take a risk. Otherwise, I will never have sold Matty Cash, because he has a good, decent Bournemouth fixture. After that, they have a tough run of games. So I opted for the route because I wanted to have Saliba cheap, because his price was rising from 5.4 to 5.5. Similarly for Gordon also, he was having that price rise. That's why I made early transfers. So these are the two full-time transfers that I used, bringing in Gordon and Saliba for Cash and Bowen. So this is how my team looks in game week 14. I have Areola, who has a Crystal Palace game, a home game. Now I am expecting Areola to at least give me something before I transfer him out in the game weeks to come. Then in my defense, I have Arsenal double up of Gabriel and Saliba, who have a Wolves home fixture. Then I have Newcastle Trippier, and Trippier has a moderate game against United at home. Now he is someone that is not living up to his price bracket in my opinion. So probably this is the last chance that I will give Trippier to give me certain returns. If not, then I'll definitely ship him out for a City defender or a Crystal Palace defender and I'll use that fund in order to upgrade my midfield or attack. In my midfield, I have a 5-man midfield of Son, Salah, Gordon, Mbeumo and Diaby. All of them have a good fixture barring Heung-min Son, in my opinion. Son has a away game at the Etihad. So, but having said that, we can expect Son to at least have an assist or one goal, considering that they had a lot of chances in the last game week. But I know that City will be very compact at the back, and since it's a home game, then it will be much more difficult without Maddison also for Spurs. Now coming to Mohamed Salah, he has a Fulham home game. That will be a very promising game for Salah in my opinion. So he might be one of the captaincy candidates for game week 14. Then we have Anthony Gordon, who has a United game. Then Mbeumo, who has a Luton home game. Now this is a very good fixture for Brentford in my opinion, because it's a fixture, it's an away fixture for Luton, so they will be leaky in my opinion. Now again, Diaby has a Bournemouth away fixture. This is also a very promising one in my opinion. So this is the last game week for Diaby in my team probably, if he is not able to impress, because he has a tough couple of games coming up. And in my attack, I have the City duo of Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. Now again, Alvarez is also someone who is on my radar of sell in the coming game weeks. This is probably also the last time that I'm putting trust on him, because there are a lot of good attacking options in the likes of Isak, then Watkins, then Darwin, whom I'll consider if Alvarez is not able to capitalize on this home game against Spurs, right? And Erling Haaland is also a no-brainer. So now comes the tricky part of captaincy, because this is another game week which is quite debatable as to whom you should captain. Should it be Mohamed Salah or should it be Erling Haaland? But having said that, I think a home game against Spurs for Haaland should be a good game, and I am keeping the armband to I'm giving the armband to Haaland itself as of now. But this is not the full and final team. I'll post my updated team on Twitter, just like I do before deadline. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. Apart from that, that is the complete team for game week 14. Now this is the best wildcard team for game week 14 in my opinion. I think it has all the ingredients which should be useful for the game week 14 till game week 20 or 21 in this congested fixtures, right? So if you have that wild card, I think you can definitely go for this team. If you have liked this video, please do drop a like and subscribe to my channel. That will mean a lot to me. I see that around 80% of you haven't subscribed, those who are watching the video. And if you have any questions, please drop them below. I'll be very happy to help, and I'll definitely get back to you. And also make sure you follow me on my Twitter, because I'll be posting the updated team before the deadline in my Twitter account. All the best.